Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the Wiser Railroad and the Torque Plate locomotive. For your safety, please remain seated until the train comes to a complete stop. Be sure to keep your arms and legs, and especially your hips, inside the train at all times. Also, please avoid eating, smoking, or drinking anything except water while on the train. We are starting out at a complete circle of Greenfield Village, 2.5 miles of track. It'll take us a half hour to get back here to the main gate. Greenfield Village is divided into historic districts. I'll point them out as we go along. Right now we're leaving the Firestone train station in the working farm district going into the Henry Ford Model T district. The white farmhouse on the left is the Ford Farm from Springwell Township, Michigan, built in 1861. That is where our founding father, Henry Ford, was born in July of 1863. Going past the Ford Farm is Main Street, with all the historic commercial buildings, like the Wright Brothers Bicycle Shop from Dayton, Ohio, where the first flying machine was built. Cohen's Millinery Store from downtown Detroit from the 1890s. The Sir John Bennett Sweet Shop, the Herschel Stillman Carousel, and the Ford Motor Company. Directly in back of the Ford Motor Company is the Model T loading dock, where you can get rides in an old-fashioned Model T car. We are now in the Edison at Work district. The big gray building on the left is the Menlo Park Laboratory Complex from Menlo Park, New Jersey. That is where, in October of 1879, Thomas Edison and his research team invented the first practical incandescent light bulb. Directly across the street, the big yellow building is the Sarah Jordan Boarding House, also from Menlo Park, New Jersey, where all the single men who worked for Thomas Edison lived. The Sarah Jordan Boarding House was one of the first private residences wired for electric lighting. We are now in the historic Churches and Parlor district, approaching the Ashley Covered Bridge. The Covered Bridge was built in 1832 in southwest Pennsylvania, where it crossed Wheeling Creek near West Menlo, Pennsylvania. We are also approaching our first train stop along the way, the Susquehanna train stop, next to the Susquehanna Plantation House of 1861. Please remain seated until the train completely stops. We do have to set an air brake. I'll tell you when it's safe to stand up. At this stop, those of you leaving us may exit on the left-hand side. Left-hand side only, please. That's where the train platform is at. This is also the stop for our annual World Tournament of Historic Baseball, in progress right now in Walnut Grove across the street, and in Hawthorne Glen just up the street from us here. This is the stop for the baseball games. Train comes to a complete stop. Be certain to keep your arms and legs as well as your heads inside the train at all times. Also, please avoid eating, smoking, or drinking anything except water on the train. The small red building on the left is the oldest American-made house in Greenfield Village. The Plimpton House from Sudbury, Massachusetts, built in 1700. Home to Mr. and Mrs. Plimpton and their 7 children. Then there's the Ferris Windmill from Cape Cod, Massachusetts, from around 1650. Believed to be the oldest windmill in the United States and the location of our candle dipping workshop today. And the Daggett Farmhouse from northern Connecticut, built in 1754. The Daggett Farmhouse also predates the American Revolution. The locomotive pulling our train today is the historic Torch Lake, believed to be the oldest still operating scheduled locomotive in the United States. The Torch Lake was built in 1873 by the Mason Machine Works in Taunton, Massachusetts. The Torch Lake was used in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan to haul copper from the Calumet and Hecla mine to Dollar Bay near Lake Superior. Next we're going into the newest district of Greenfield Village, the Rouge River Oxbow District. Largest ongoing wetland restoration project in southeast Michigan. Since we began restoring the wetlands, all the birds and all the wild animals that lived in here a long time ago are all coming back home. We have a whole herd of white-tailed deer back in here again. Wow. We have fox, raccoons, possums, skunks, a couple of wily old coyotes, and several times we've had confirmed sightings of American bald eagles back here in the wetland. A few years ago, we even had a nesting pair of bald eagles back here. We are now entering the wetland area. Looking around, you can see some of the hiking and nature trails we have in here now. We have an access road, a 14-acre island. We're planning a campground with canoe facilities for the scouts and the youth groups. A lot of work needs to be done in here yet. We probably won't be finished for a few more years. Now coming up next on the right, a small tent. The tent is the campground of the United States Forest Service Ranger. Greenfield Village has its own forest rangers now. Also on the right, at the bottom of the hill, is a small stream. The stream is the Rouge River Oxbow, which has been reconnected to the Rouge River and flows back into the Rouge just in back of us here at the bridge near Michigan Avenue. The open field coming up on our left is Walnut Grove, an activities field, and the ballpark for our two historical old-time baseball teams, the Nationals and the Latidas. In progress as we speak in Walnut Grove is the annual World Tournament of Historic Baseball. If you look down there, you won't find a single baseball glove amongst the whole bunch. In the 1860s, the modern baseball glove had not been invented yet, and most players at the time refused to wear gloves of any kind because they considered it to be too unmanly. The yellow buildings coming up are the campus buildings of the Henry Ford Academy, a fully accredited four-year charter high school, grades 9 through 12. We had just over 500 students enrolled here this past academic year. The students were all selected by lottery from all over Wayne County, and there were no additional fees or charges for attendance. The old train cars have been rebuilt and joined in the middle. They're now being used as the classrooms for the seniors of the Henry Ford Academy. The body of water on the left is the Suwannee Lagoon, part of a series of catch basins for excess storm runoff and flood control in Greenfield Village. Let's sit back for just a minute now and listen to the sound of the wheels against the tracks. The locomotive bell word and whistle, the sound of the steam. These are all very common sounds that we but seldom if ever heard anymore these days. Unless, of course, you come to a very special place like Greenfield Village. Again on our left, just past the lagoon, a couple of outstanding restaurants. The green building is the Taste of History or cafeteria-style restaurant. The big white building next to it is the Eagle Tavern, originally built in 1832 in Clinton, Michigan. The Eagle Tavern was a stagecoach stop on the main road between Detroit and Chicago. Taste of History Cafeteria and Eagle Tavern, directly on our left, open for business at 11 a.m., which is just about 20 minutes from now. Ladies and gentlemen, we're entering the Smith Creek train depot on the north side of Greenfield Village. Please remain seated until the train completely stops. I'll tell you when the air brakes are set and it's safe to stand up. At this stop, those of you leaving us may exit on the left-hand side. Left-hand side only, please. That is where the train platform is at.
Maybe these trains.
Hey, excellent try. How about you, Menlo? You can do it? Alright, I tried. And with this, I'd like to welcome everybody aboard the Wiser Railroad and the Birch Lake locomotive. As a quick safety reminder, please remain seated while the train is in motion, keeping arms, legs, and especially your head inside the cars at all times, and refrain from smoking, eating, or drinking anything other than water while aboard. And as we continue through the Railroad Junction District, we're passing the Smith Creek depot. We're just stopping and learn about the exploits of Thomas Edison. And it's chemistry set. And just up ahead is our Detroit, Toledo, and Milwaukee roundhouse, originally located in Marshall, Michigan, built in 1884 for the Detroit, Toledo, and Milwaukee Railroad. Roundhouse we use to service steam locomotives, and we do that today after stop in our presenters. We'll now take you through the restoration project that we have going on in 1897 Baldwin. And just a short distance behind the roundhouse will be on the back side of the Liberty Craft Works. This is where you can watch our artists working in the material of glass, tin, weaving, and pottery. Also, there is a hands-on program going on. You can join our tinsmiths and make a metal medallion and stuff. That material work will be done. And also do a plain flower in the glass shop. And up right on our right-hand side is Firestone and Fire. First place the Firestone. Firestone is very close friend of Thomas Edison. 1800. As we all know, this tire was used on four vehicles. I encourage you to stop in and visit with our period of tire presenters, and I'll take you through the farm life of the 1880s. Over the part of the Firestone Station platform here in the working farm. I wasn't know what said there, but I'm writing a sign. And this is the front entrance to the village for those who are starting this today.
You want to get off here?
Yeah.